Welcome to Joanna the Medium Show, broadcast on Ever Beyond Radio and through the Wolf Spirit Media Network, helping you transform from fear to freedom and reminding you of your true power. During this broadcast, we will discuss anything and everything connecting to owning your inner power and the essence of your spirit. We will hear inspiring stories from guests, as well as guidance from the spirit world. Jump on board for this incredible ride. Here's your host, Joanna.
Hello everyone, thank you so much for coming back. Welcome to the Joanna Monday night show. Today we have a very special show. Actually, I consider all my shows specials, but tonight I will be giving you readings or answering your questions for the next hour. So this is a call-in show, and if you there's a line already of people calling, so please be patient. I just want to keep this very quick here. The one thing I really want you to remember, whatever information comes from me, please listen with your heart. If something does not resonate with you, it does not mean it's bad or good or I'm wrong or you're wrong. It just means it's not connecting with you right now. So whatever you do receive that speaks to you, great. If something doesn't speak to you, put it in a back pocket. Maybe don't discard it altogether, but listen with your intuition. That's the one thing I really want you to know. The other thing is, if you could have one question ready, and if you could have it ready as in written down, just so we allow as many people call in as possible and we'll save some time. So answer your question, and then I will probably rephrase your question. And the reason being is I really want to get you into a habit of owning your ability to create. So when you phrase a certain question a certain way, it allows you to own the power that you have to create it. So I'll give you an example when we talk about it. Let me just see if there's anything else. I think that's all I've got. So let's have an exciting show. We'll get through as many calls as possible. If you could please be brief with your question, that would really, really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's get moving. Okay, JP, open the doors.
Open the gates. So, beginning. And we're starting with, let's see, area code 505. Are you with us? 505. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Hi.
Where are you? And what is your single question?
My name is Noemi.
Noemi, yes?
Yeah.
Hello, Noemi.
Wow. I'm glad I got through.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
What is your question, sweetheart? What is your question, please?
Wow. I wasn't really prepared with the question, but I guess in general, I've had so many changes in my life, and just really fast changes and stuff. And so I'm just been wondering, what are my next steps, pretty much like.
Okay, so let me just jump right in. Thank you so much for the question. The way I see your question is you are asking me what's going to happen, but what I see here is that you're not looking at creating what's going to happen. So in other words, what I'm seeing here is, first of all, he says the word education. So there could be education for you, awaiting you, or it is Spirit's way of saying there is some education or knowledge that would be good for you to have in your hand. And they attach the word opportunity to this. They're also connecting me to the month of September or fall in general. And it's something from now to fall of this year, something to do with finances. So I don't know if you're working right now or not, but there seems to be a shift of focus.
I'm right now I'm not working, and I've been applying. I'm applying for disability, and and I'm considered I want to go back to school, so for communications.
So what I'm hearing here is you have been thinking on what I said to you just a moment ago. So consider that a huge confirmation. And I'm just going to let you go, but I'll keep speaking, and that show will be also posted. Thank you so much for calling, by the way. But yes, there is a shift of direction. It's almost like you have to, It's almost like you have to look for something you haven't considered before because of the way of how you think about yourself. In other words, we shortchange ourselves, so we limit ourselves. You need to go beyond your limits, beyond your comfort zones. And the education component is the key to that right now. Okay?
Okay.
So I hope that helps. Good luck to you. And thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Okay, so here's, oops, I got two here. All right, so hang on with that. That was 505, whoops. All right, forget that. All right, so let's try this one. And take that one out. Take this one out. Okay, area code 505, is that right? Yeah, no, 216. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you?
Hi, my name is Amy. I'm in Ohio.
Hello, is it Amy? As in A-M-Y?
Yes.
Hello, Amy. Very nice. Very nice. Oh my God, I feel like I'm an old person. Very nice to meet you. I don't even have a question. I don't have your question, but I'm getting stuff. Can I just say before you say anything to me, this is a period of letting go. So it does signify certain things have to go. They're not bad things, but I feel like you're still attached to something from your past. So a lot of this will be conditioning and belief. There's also something about a job. And I see you shifting or turning. And again, there's a whole idea of looking at a different direction or a new direction. So I don't know if it's connected to your question, but what's your question?
Well, it isn't, but those are all things that resonate with me. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I wanted to call because I have a very close friend of mine that is facing some difficult decisions and trying to understand that how I can best help in that, if I'm prepared to do that right now for him.
Okay. The moment I connect with that energy, I want to get very, very emotional. Okay, so there's a depth to this relationship that goes beyond, I want to say, this lifetime. So I want to say a soulmate, karmic. Soulmate doesn't have to be romantic, but there's a huge connection here. I also, here's the image that I have, and this is a metaphor. I see you wheeling this person on their wheelchair. No, they're not going to be on a wheelchair. This is a metaphor. It basically means you are taking care of that person in a big way. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. However, what I'm seeing here is that the person, it's almost like the person is holding themselves back in the chair. They're resisting the next step. Okay. And then I hear the words, what if? So sometimes, subconsciously speaking, we will keep ourselves stuck in a situation because we are worse off or afraid more so of what we don't know. Okay. And what I'm being shown very clearly is that's very important for you to understand that this is not yours to tackle. Although we be with this person in a supportive role, but this is not for you to take that burden away from this person, if that makes sense.
It does, yes.
Okay. Your role in this relationship is to be very much a support system.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does.
Yes.
Everything you said makes complete sense. Thank you so much. I enjoy your videos.
Welcome. I just got chills, so somebody stepped in. Is there a mother figure on the other side for you? And this could be a mother or a mother figure as a grandmother, and I want to go with dad's side of the family.
I don't know my father's side of the family, but
wow. Okay.
Today is actually my birthday.
Wow, happy birthday. Would you know anything about his parents? You're a Taurus.
I don't.
Okay,
no.
What I want to say here is they're showing me that there's a grandmother coming forward. I see her dressed in black. All to me, what it says to me is that there's a certain religious component to where she comes from, but she's holding like a beating heart. She's holding like a beating heart, and she's offering this to you as a metaphor. And when I'm asking her, what does this mean? She says the word confidence. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So I'm going to leave it with that. She's also showing me something on your neck that is very important to you, very dear to you. Is this something that you currently wear?
I don't wear it all the time, but yes, I do.
Do you understand
have
what I'm talking about? Okay, somehow it's very important. It has to do with the word spiritual, or at least there is a spiritual connection to it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And I want to wish you happy birthday. Yay.
Thank you so much, Joanna.
This is a great year for us Taurians. Apparently.
I hope so.
You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. Take care of yourself.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
You're welcome. You too, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Area code coming up. 231. Area code 231. Would you introduce yourself and ask your question, please?
Yes. My name is Jane, and
hello, Jane.
Hi there. I would like any advice that you could possibly give me on avenues of viable income. I've been underemployed for years, and I feel quite lost, to be honest.
Okay. Before you even said the word, the moment I wrote Jane, I wrote money. So I knew right away this was something to do with finances. Okay. I'm just going to quickly scan you, if I may. Right away, I'm being drawn to your back, which is an area around your tailbone, and he's asking me to talk about this aspect of you. So this is an energy center, and it's responsible for sheer survival in this world, safety and survival. He's showing me that when you were a child, you had undergone some difficult situations which made you feel very, very unsafe. Does that make sense to you? It is that part of your life that is still contributing to your experience of lack. Okay. Now, I really want to stress this next point. This isn't anything you have done, or is it anything you are being punished for. It has nothing to do with that. Part of your path, it's actually your path in this lifetime is all about transformation, or the proverbial idea of phoenix coming out of its ashes. You understand what that metaphor means, right?
Yes.
So it's a complete transformation. So in this lifetime, you are choosing to go from, I want to use the term reduced version of yourself. In other words, a version of yourself that you think is small. So you think of yourself as small, into someone that is and feels and embodies greatness. Why? Because a big part of what is here to come out of you, if you choose to, is to teach about it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
The word volunteer comes up. And something about speaking to younger generation, or just speaking to people about your experiences.
Okay.
And my hands shake as I say that, because my heart is connected to this. I also want to say the word shame. There's a word shame connected to this. Do you understand? Yes. Okay. Yes. So embrace that there is this real aspect trying to come out of you. Do your best not to suppress it. I know you're probably saying, I don't know how. It'll all come to you. Okay. I feel this month is very important. I want to say all the way till June. I don't know why it's so important, but I do see a lot of fire. When I see fire, it tells me that there's an opportunity for transformation here. The number 7 is being shown around you, which can be July, if that means something to you, but 7 to me represents mastering an aspect of one's emotional self. And for you, it's the sense of self-security. In other words, security within self.
Thank you so much.
Does that make sense? I really want to say volunteer, whatever that means to you, however you choose to express it. There's no right or wrong, nor is it you have to. It's totally up to you. But your life is about massive transformational piece. There's one more thing he's showing me. Okay, this is really funny. This is a metaphor. He's showing me a dog. The dog sees the bone. He grabs the bone and he runs with the bone. So bone to me represents opportunity. So if an opportunity presents itself, okay, obviously examine it with your intuition, and then if it feels right, run with it. I also hear the word teach, okay?
Okay.
Does any of this make any sense to you?
It does, and it's all of the answers I really needed to hear. Thank you.
Yeah. Your job, if you will, is to understand and embody your own value. But when we come from valueless, feeling like we are not valued, valuable, or whatever it is, you will almost always have complications around finances, because finances in the physical realm represents security.
Yes.
Right? So when you shift that consciousness, it'll shift situations around you. And quite drastically, I might add, because apparently the energies we're going into, and keep in mind some of this stuff, I don't know, I can't prove it, the manifestation process happens much quicker because the vibration is much finer. So our thoughts, especially when they're focused thoughts, have the ability to manifest much quicker. So it's a blessing, but it's also a bit of a warning. So the message here is heal that aspect of you that is still hurting from the past. Okay? I hope that's helpful.
It's very helpful, because that's the best ending to the story of this life for me, is to be able to teach others with some of the things. Thank you so much.
I just got chills all over me. Bless you, darling, and best of luck, sweetheart. Thank you so much for calling.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay, and coming up now, area code 818. Please introduce yourself, area code 818.
Yeah, I'm Kimberly.
Hello, Kimberly.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was listening online. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay.
How can I help you?
My question is, so I've been holding on to this resentment regarding my dad, and I thought I let it go. And I personally keep up bringing things from the past when I talk to him. So I find, did I really let go of that resentment I had?
No, but I want to give you more information on that. You have done tremendous work on yourself, but these things take time. This is about, I hate the word lesson, but I'm going to use it. So the experience between you and your dad is very much about the idea of forgiveness, but not only forgiveness of someone else, it is forgiveness of oneself. So when you're perpetuating, beating yourself up, that you feel this way towards your dad, you're constantly feeling guilty. This will require you to forgive yourself for what you feel. In other words, you are allowed to feel what you need to feel in order to understand what's going on. How you deal with it is a different story. But I feel like what he's saying here is don't deny yourself the ability to feel this. It's part of your experience. Now, once you allow yourself the ability to feel it, which means you won't resist it, you'll then find that your resentment towards him will lessen and lessen over time. Why? Because you're paying attention to it, but not from the point of view of anger, but from the point of view, I'm accepting this is what's happening. I'm just going to let it go through me. Once I let it go through me, then you'll move on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Because you beat yourself up, it's, you hold yourself hostage, but there's also another dynamic that's happening between the two of you. Part of what's difficult in this for you is because there's an attachment here. You're pissed off at him and you resent him, but there's an aspect of you that really, really, really wants to feel validated by him.
Yeah.
So it's a catch-22. So again, obviously that's not the healthiest of connections that we have, right? Because they drain our energy. And essentially what's happening is you need your dad to fulfill you, but he doesn't. So there's this never ending, and not fulfill you, approve you. And then when he doesn't, it just constantly perpetuates that feeling within you, and it causes guilt. There's all stuff attached to it. So allow yourself to feel it. Okay, that's why you have feelings. That's why you have emotions. Then give yourself some time to grieve. Why do I say grieve? Because he's showing me it's almost like you grieve a father you never had.
Yeah, I think that's
okay. So if you can imagine this in your visualizations, emotionally speaking, you will let it go. And I hate to use the term timing because, there's no time connected to this, but I want to say that it's a very effective tool to releasing some of the old wounds. The other thing he would like you to know, and he is my guide tonight, he would like you to recognize the aspects of that relationship that has made you tremendous. In other words, write down the list of things that are amazing about you and notice how they are directly connected to the relationship you had with your father. That will allow you to look at that relationship from a point of view of gift versus something that's painful. So nothing is changing. The only thing and the fundamental thing is the energy that you connect yourself to with him shifts.
Okay, so kind of what I learned from him?
Yeah, you can turn it that way, yeah. And if you didn't learn anything from him, he wouldn't be part of your life. You chose him to be there for you.
Yeah, well,
okay.
Okay.
That's how my sessions go. They're kind of that nature. So allow yourself just to think about that idea. This is recorded, so it will be posted on my YouTube channel so you can listen to it. But this is about fundamentally detaching yourself from the painful experiences you've had with your dad, not by him no longer existing, because that's not going to change it, by you realizing that those experiences were needed by you on a certain level in order to help you understand yourself from a certain perspective. Okay? And because in order to feel empowered, and of course we want to be empowered, we need to be able to feel the value within ourselves. Because if we don't feel the value within ourselves, then guess what? We are disempowered, right? So by you constantly wanting validation from him, constantly disempower yourself because you put all your power to him.
Okay. So, would you recommend not talking to him at all to kind of...
It's not about not talking to him. So my guide says, okay, give her a real example. So one of the things that's being suggested here, write him a long letter. Now, you don't have to send it. What's important here is it's important that you evoke or channel out or express your emotions. Whether you talk to him or express it on paper or yell it into a microphone and then burn it, it's irrelevant. With your dad probably wouldn't be as comfortable, but the end result is the same. So essentially this is about you allowing yourself to let go of those emotional things you have been holding on to. Okay? And writing it in a physical way is similar to speaking. You will allow yourself to express it. And it's a very, very, very healing thing to do. So use that as an example. Okay? The other thing he's asking me to share with you just very briefly, be thankful for the moments you have with him. Not because he's going anywhere, but because one day he's not going to be here. And you want to have that peace within you. And I'm not he's not going anywhere. This is something for you to do. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
I hope that was helpful. I know it's a lot, but I hope that's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, love.
Thank you, Jo.
Thank you so much for calling. Bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, right. So someone's been calling and so many times and, but I'm just waiting in. Right. Okay. Yeah. Oh well. Do keep trying, 2929.
Hello.
Hello. Area code 201. Please, what's your name and where are you?
My name is Maria Herrera, and I'm calling from New Jersey.
Hello, Maria. How can I help you, darling?
Joanna, I have a question. I had a dream. I don't know. I just want to find out what it's trying to say to me because last week I dreamed with a white sheep, a white horse with wings, and with the Pope. I don't know. It's a dream that I just saw those three things.
How did you feel in that dream?
I was with my son. It was like a gathering, and I was looking near where I was with my son. There was a window. There was a church with a window, and when I look up, I first see a little window, and in the window, I saw the white sheep. Then, then I see a white horse with wings, and after that, I saw like the Pope walking fast, and somebody was behind him, like a guard or something like that. And when I went to sleep, I was looking at SpongeBob.
So here's how dreams work. Rarely dreams are literal. Dreams are, for the most part, I would say 90% or higher, are metaphorical. That's why I'm asking, how did you feel in the dream? Because it is the feeling that will give you the most intuitive answer. The visions that you have are metaphors. So the question you want to ask yourself, what does church represent to you? You being with your son and nobody else, what does this represent to you? So when you put those pieces together, eventually it'll become a greater whole. But here's what they're saying. They're trying to send you information, how to deal with a certain relative. Does that make any sense to you?
Okay, but like a sister, a brother, my son.
A relative, so somebody that has been on top of your mind for the last little while.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Okay, because I feel like you're looking for help for them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so write those dreams down, and when they start repeating themselves, it'll eventually start making sense to you. My guide says, well, tell her why you're not telling her. I cannot tell you because then it will be my interpretation.
Please tell me.
No, I can't because it will be my interpretation. I'm not in your body. I don't feel what you feel. That's why I'm saying you have to look into what all these things mean to you and what the feeling is around it. So when you think of being in a church, what does that tell you? What does it mean to you to be in a church? What does church mean to you?
I wasn't in a church. It was like something, it was a gathering of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm,
but
okay.
I saw my son with me, but there was other people. And when I look up, it was a church where we was gathering, that gathering with a lot of people. So I look up and I see this little window. And that little window, first I saw the sheep, then the white horse with the wings, and then I saw the Pope walking very fast. And I think it was a guard of him behind. I don't know.
Yeah. He's saying to me, write these things down, because as time goes along, you'll be able to interpret these messages. He says, you still don't know why I can't tell you. That's okay. I'm just going to say, because I don't feel your emotions, and it's based on your interpretation of your emotions.
I feel peace. I feel okay.
Okay. So if you feel okay, at least you know that. You said peace. That's very good. So there is something about being in a gathering and the vision of a church. Look up the word sheep as animal totem, okay, or spirit animal, what it means. I'm just looking here quickly, because that is also, you keep repeating it over and over again, represents an innocent aspect of yourself, your childhood, childlike qualities characterized by innocence and gentleness, vulnerability with negative meanings. So it's a lot about letting go of some vulnerabilities here. A common meaning for the sheep totem is part of yourself that tends to conform to social norms. Okay. Would you say that you have a tendency to think, only based on what you've been taught?
Yes.
Okay. I feel, again, I don't want to interpret this, but I feel like there's a message here around, again, conforming to social norms. And sometimes it works for us. Sometimes it doesn't work any longer. So perhaps one of the things is that you're trying to figure out, how to best help whoever the family member is, because you feel obligated, right? Because it's socially what it needs to do. But sometimes when we do that, we actually rob them of their important lessons. So you really want to be mindful here. You don't want to be the one following the sheep. Like, you don't want to be the sheep following the sheep. You want to be an individual. Okay? So that's the best I can do on the dream. But this is about you interpreting it. Okay?
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Have a good
You're
day,
welcome.
Joanna. Thank you.
You too. You too, sweetheart.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, I hope that this is this Nikki?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Okay. Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
On you go.
Hi.
How are you? What can I do for you? Or how can I help you?
I am calling because I haven't been able to move on. I had a quick relationship when I was 16.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
I got pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to abort my baby.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. And I thought, the father had abandoned me. But after I did what I did because my mother forced me to, I found out that he didn't. Basically, I had to leave him and tell him he was older than me, way older.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to tell him just that we can be together because my mother will the cops on him. So I just haven't been able to move.
Okay.
And my friend, she says she's a psychic, and many years ago I was having a rough time with my husband, which now we're separated because I learned that I'm a narcissist. He's a narcissist and I'm a codependent.
Mm-hmm.
And I just haven't been happy with him. So she told me, I don't know if it was to make me feel better, but that I would meet with him again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to tell him that I'm sorry for what I did. I haven't been able to forgive myself.
Okay. So just breathe. Have a breather. I'm just going to tell you what they're asking me to say. This is very similar to a couple of phone calls ago. This is similar. This is all about releasing self-judgment and self-loathing. And again, I'm going to say the same thing. It's not about you feeling it that causes the chaos. It's about you feeling bad that you are feeling it that causes the chaos. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what they're saying here is forgiveness for yourself of what happened is essential here. And I know for working as a therapist for 15 years, self-forgiveness is probably one of the most difficult things to accomplish. So this is about taking steps to it. By allowing yourself to forgive yourself for it, you are slowly going to, what's the word I want to say? Detach yourself from that past. The other thing I'm being shown here is, I hear the word neglected over and over and over again. And the word neglected is about you. Like, I feel as at some point when you were very, very young, you felt neglected. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes, it was.
Okay. This is a huge, huge part of your purpose in this life to overcome. It has everything to do about how you see yourself with respect to how the world sees you. They're saying to me that fundamentally speaking, you trust no one.
Yes, it's true.
Okay? When you believe that at every core of your being, and I can see why, because I can see what happened, okay? When that happens, you will automatically block yourself from ever opening, filling up, because last time you were open, it hurt like mofo, right? I'm not going to say the words. So, but you've come to a point in your life, and I don't know how you got to me. You were guided here so you can hear this. There's an opportunity here in the next 6 to 8 months to not only notice this, but also to transition from it. You're going to say how? By recognizing the patterns. The patterns will lead you to your belief. So if you are continuing, or if you continue to keep experiencing the same thing, except it looks different physically, but the feeling is the same, that is the lesson. Not because you've done something wrong, but that's because that's what you are here to overcome. Okay? And all these people will put on your path, or I will rephrase, you put them on your path in order to act as pieces in your story to give you, what is it that they're giving her? To challenge you. And through challenges, you will eventually find yourself. Okay? They're also showing me there's a huge tendency towards looking to outside for validation. And all of us, not all, a lot of us do that, myself included. I've struggled with it before. So the moment you start recognizing that, and the moment you start paying more attention to you and your inner calling, you will slowly but surely reshuffle, so to speak, how you attach yourself to other people.
I do.
Right?
I am possessive.
Yeah. And the reason why is because I'll tell you, it's not very simple. It's simple in theory, but there's a reason why we have this thing called subconscious. You're fearful that you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
In rejection, however it looks. And that's because I feel in your past you never really had it to begin with. So here's a catch-22. If you never had it, how will you know what to look for? Right? And if you never had it, you will continuously be duplicating for what you have, which is not what you want. Okay? So this is about you. This is about recognizing that there is this pattern that has been going on subconsciously. Part of it is because you wanted to go through it in order to understand yourself. But this is also about looking at this and shifting your perception of yourself. In other words, all these experiences have shaped you who you are. And I know for a fact that there's gazillion things that are absolutely amazing and incredible about you. They came from somewhere. They came as a result of your experiences. So he says, tell her the short story, the short version. This is about you recognizing your own gifts, which will build your own value for yourself. The moment you look for value in others, it is an uphill battle that I'll trust me when I tell you this, you can't win it. It's a slippery slope.
Mm.
Okay? So the next 6 to 8 months, for whatever reason, maybe there's a birthday there somewhere, up until the end of this year, very important. There's a lot of opportunities here for you to shift your focus. But first recognize, okay?
Okay.
Also, you are worth more than you were receiving, but you don't believe that. You don't believe it. Because if you did, it
more
wouldn't.
than what I'm receiving?
Yes. In other words, what you're receiving does not equal what I know you truly are. In other words, how you feel about yourself is the equivalent of what's in front of you.
Yeah, I know that. No.
Right? So this is just like giving you this big cosmic hug and saying, you know what? We all do it. But time has come that you were led to me somehow for us to give you this information so that at least you can think about it and take it from there.
Is that because I do tend to be attached? I have a hard time. I get attached, then I get over possessive. I like it for something to be mine.
Because you're afraid you're going to lose it. Number one, once you have it, there's a part of you says, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's not for me, that's not belief. So, but what happens is you end up rejecting it. So you do things that actually end up pushing the person away. It's a catch-22. Do you see what I'm saying?
What's a catch-22?
Catch-22 means you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You're in a vicious cycle.
Oh.
Okay. But this is what he's saying. This is so important for you. Recognize what you do and then recognize what is driving that behavior. In other words, when you recognize you're being possessive, you have to stop and say, what is being triggered in me? You'll know the answer right away, or you'll have to think about it. Okay? Because when you become aware of it, then you can change it, because you can never change something you do not know exists. Right? Also, you are consciously running from the fear of never having something. Do you understand what I said?
No.
In other words, you have a fear that there's not enough. You're constantly being driven by that fear that you'll never have enough.
Yeah, I've always felt that way.
Pardon me?
I've always felt that way.
But that's what I'm saying. Now you have to recognize there's a behavior connected to it, and also notice where it comes from. And you know where it comes from. It comes from your bringing. We don't need to go over there. But so I'm just giving you a whole bunch of information. I know it's a lot, but I can't do more than that. So I'm going to leave that with you, and I do hope that makes sense and helps some way.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, well, here comes area code 201. Let's just see. Area code 201, your name and your question, please.
Gregoria.
Hello, Gregoria. What can I do for you? How can I help you?
How are you, Joanna?
I'm wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, I have to make a decision, okay? So I have to choose between two persons. And I'm having a difficult time doing it.
So you know that I will never tell you who to choose because I cannot do that.
Exactly.
Right? What does your intuition tell you? Do you know at least that?
That's the problem that I'm having because I have to choose between economy and love. And I'm afraid to choose love because
what does your intuition tell you? What does your gut tell you?
To give it a try. To give it a try in love. I never try it.
Then that's your answer.
But I'm afraid.
I know you are, but here's the beautiful thing. And sorry, I get excited about this stuff. You can say I'm passionate. You're supposed to be. Why? Because it's a new territory. And whenever we've gone beyond the known, we feel bloody uncomfortable because we don't know. So doing the right thing doesn't mean you won't have fear. Quite the opposite. It's doing what is intended for you based on your intuition and facing it anyway. That's how growth happens. Precisely because you said you've never given it a chance. So it's presenting itself to you. My guess is you've been asking for it. Yes, of course you have, because who wouldn't? So, but you're also afraid of it at the same time, and that is the internal roar, okay? So you already know what you want. In your moment, in your contemplation moment, ask yourself, what is it about love that terrifies me? And see what comes up.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to leave that with you, and hopefully that was helpful.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You too.
Okay, area code 203. Area code 203, do you copy?
I think it's a very broken. Oh, hello?
You're on a cell phone and we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Breaking up a little bit.
It's too broken up. Yeah. Maybe try again. Maybe try dialing.
Try from a landline.
Yeah.
No, we have to move on. Let's try area code, this one. And area code 563. Do you read us? What's your name and where are you? What's your question?
I am Sally, and I am calling from Illinois.
Hello, Sally. Very nice to meet you. Thank you for calling. Well, how can I help you?
I love your readings every month. Thank you so much for giving those.
Thank you.
I was lucky enough to call in last October and talk to you in Alma. I had a really bad year last year, and when I talked to you guys, you said that May was going to be a good month for me, and I'm trying to sell our house and move to Florida, and I just wonder if that is something that's going to happen.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do at this point. Here's what I'm going to say. What is preventing you from moving forward right now? Because remember, we are creating this, right? Okay. Right away, I am connected to my heart chakra and I'm gripped by a fear in my throat. What is it that you're afraid of losing?
Just my husband is afraid of letting go of stuff and cleaning out the house to get it listed for sale. He just keeps dragging his feet.
Let me tune into it. They did not say your husband. Okay, so they're showing me, this is a metaphor. You're tied to the house and you're trying to move, but the house is too bloody heavy. There is something in there that's keeping you stuck.
I say this house is haunted all the time.
I just hear the words unfinished business. This is very interesting. I'm trying to remotely connect to it. I also see your husband is kind of happy being where he's at. So is he fairly resistant?
Yeah.
Is he fairly resistant? Yeah. Because when I tune into him, I kind of see him doing his thing, and then he says, what's the point? What's the point? So I don't know, there's a resignation there for some reason. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think he's worried about the financials.
Yeah. I also want to say, and I'm trying to see how much I can get into this with you on air. You're both pulling into different directions, and that's causing a bit of a conflict here. In other words, both of you are not on the same page. And when the energies are such, and I don't believe like you're responsible for all of it, but there is definitely a component of that, because I keep hearing unfinished business. There is some unfinished business between the two of you. Does that make sense? That kind of makes sense. Okay.
Yes, it does.
So what I want to say here is make sure you don't run away from it. Face it.
Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. That does resonate, yes.
That's because you're in a transition. It's a big one for you, okay? Yes, I got chills all over me, and I want to cry. But I hear the word resurrection. So that's how big this is for you. Okay? This is you freeing yourself. Okay? So until you deal with it, perhaps the energies will kind of keep you there, because once you move on, interpret that as you will, okay? But it's important to deal with it now, okay?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Makes sense? You're welcome, love. Yes. I wish you best of luck.
Thank you. Blessings to you too. Thank you.
Okay, just sweetheart. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
There we go. Excellent. Thank you very much. Let's go for this one. Area code 213, good evening, and what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name is Rachel.
Hello, Rachel.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. How can I help you?
Yes, my question is, I want to have a relationship, but I'm trying to prepare myself to be a mom. I know if I'm going to be a mother one day, be in a relationship. That's my question. If that makes sense to you.
I'm sorry, I completely missed the question. Was the question if you're ever going to be a mother?
Yes, if I could have kids.
Okay, let me just see if I want to get into this on air. Sometimes things are not appropriate. So, first of all, health-wise, they're showing me everything is fine. I don't feel it has anything to do with health. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, but what I do want to, I want to say this is about perseverance with relationships. I feel like it's been very hard work for you, and I feel like it's that will continue for a little while. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying things are going to be bad. That's not what I'm saying. I just feel like you are working on a relationship part right now. In other words, how you relate to another. Okay. And until you kind of square that off within you, you may want to, kind of hold off before having children. And that depends totally on your situation. Okay. The area that's being highlighted here is the word self-confidence and self-respect.
Yes.
Okay. Something about giving that away. Okay, so you want to make sure that you connect with that and start the process of recognizing the patterns, blah, 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 subconscious blocks, because your idea of relating to another will be very different once you get through it.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like you're moving up, but you're not there yet, if I can say it that way. And I presume, this is not psychic, but I presume that you'd want to have children with somebody that you feel, kind of good with, right?
Yes.
And stable. Yeah. So you want to make sure that your foundation, emotionally speaking, is solid so that you can attract a partner, unless you have one and things will change, so that your framework is on a stronger foundation. Okay? That is what they want you to focus on, not the children, because I want to say the children are secondary right now in this process.
Okay.
Okay. They're pointing me to your tummy. This is something that always research. Do you have any allergies or issues around milk or dairy?
Yes, it seems like I am. Yes.
Okay, they're asking me to say that you might have some food allergies or sensitivities because they're pointing me to my tummy. Okay, but this is also where you absorb a lot of other people's emotions and stress. So you're an empath. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that will heavily affect you and your breathing, they're showing me. Because sometimes it's too much. That's because you're absorbing other people's energy without even knowing. So again, the word self-respect comes in, which in this case to me signifies it's about you recognizing that you need to have boundaries, and sometimes you need to put your foot down a little bit sooner.
It makes sense to me.
Okay, this will basically, get you to a point where you feel much more confident, much more empowered, and then your choices and partners will change too.
All right, good.
I hope that helps.
It helps a lot. Thank you.
Okay, good luck to you. Bye.
Oh, thanks.
Okay, let's try this one again. And area code 203, are you listening now?
I'm here. Oh, I can get through. Thank you. Yeah.
Hi. What's your name and how can I help you, darling?
Hi, Joanna. Thank you so much for taking my call. I think you're absolutely amazing. Amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
I'm so glad to get through. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So you've only got a few seconds, so please ask your question.
I know. So quick question. I know, Steve. So, in terms of a career, so any advice that, my guides can give you or your guides have for me regarding career, over this, the next coming months would be fabulous.
I'm just asking here how to ask the question. Do you want a different career? Is that what you're saying?
A career in general. So currently I'm not employed and I'm looking for work, and I am interested in moving states. And it's not working out so well. So I'm wondering if it's because I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah. What they're showing me here is, so because they asked me to rephrase the question is what is preventing me from moving on with my career? And what I'm being shown here is that you are in a transition, and I feel you know that. However, you are choosing to keep looking back, whatever that means to you. In other words, you're not facing where you're going. So I feel like your quote unquote priorities need to shift, and I feel like you need to start looking at other things. Not because you have to, but because you want to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
That also.
I am trying to move state and move and try and make this transition happen, but it's just I feel blocked in every direction. So that's why I'm like, ooh.
Because you are shown to me on a bridge. You have kind of just quarter into the bridge. Bridge to me signifies a journey, and point A takes you to, over to point B. But again, I almost feel like you're resisting. And we resist for a gazillion reasons. We don't want to, it's uncomfortable, blah, 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 right? So if when you ask yourself the question, how am I preventing myself from moving forward in a quiet space, you will get the answer. I do feel like you will turn around. In other words, it's like almost like, I want to keep looking, saying you need to look somewhere different. And they're saying to me, have her pay attention to the signs. Mm-hmm. Do you ever get signs through songs?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I feel like Spirit is dangling shit in front of you, excuse my French, and you're not paying attention.
I know. Because you're dangling in front of me is more along the lines of psychic mediumship and that route, and I don't know, I'm like, wait a minute, like that's what so I guess I'm confused. I'm going to more corporate, and then I'm getting, you just give this person a reading, blah, blah, blah. Oh, you're supposed to
wait.
here.
I see what's happening. Yeah, you're thinking it has to be black and white, one or the other. As a matter of fact, 98% of the time it doesn't work that way. So this is about deciding to do what you want, not because you have to all of a sudden stop looking for a regular job and get yourself into psychic readings, because you know what's going to happen? Your fear of not succeeding is going to stop the flow. You don't want to do that. You want to do it as a way of giving people in whatever shape or form, in whatever monetary or non-monetary value. While you're practicing the art of giving and receiving, not because you don't know how, but because you don't know how yet. Okay, it's also about confidence. When you practice this and you have no pressure of making money with it, in other words, it's no pressure to make that be your security, you have more room to maneuver and more room to breathe. So you might want to consider the idea of following something that's a little bit closer to your liking versus just what you've always done, and also open up the other avenue for things that you might like to try, not necessarily because they will be your money-making thing, they could be, but purely to start off with just for the purpose of manifesting it in a physical form. In other words, doing it. Then you start that flow.
Yeah. That makes
Okay.
sense.
They're showing me the moon with you, which is to me about having knowledge of the things people can't see, the shadow aspects, the esoteric, the magic. I see moon with you.
Yeah.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Very feminine power. There's a part of me that wants to say like a goddess feeling. I don't know where it's coming from. It's coming. It's almost like I'm a lady of the night, but not in a sexual way. Like I come out at night and that's when I'm best.
That's when I get readings. Yes, correct.
Yes. So please, this is your passion. Own it. Doesn't mean you have to, completely dissolve your entire life. It just means allow that to be a part of your life now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And don't be
Well,
surprised when you get busy. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. What an honor. Thank you. Your readings were amazing. Thank you so much. God bless. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I don't know if we have time for the one. I don't think we do.
No, we don't have any more time. You change from one energy to another, with, great smoothness there, Joanna. The calls are still pouring in, but we can't take any more.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for calling. If we did not get back to you, we'll have more of these shows. Keep watching the YouTube channel. I'll be, doing a whole bunch of different new things. So thank you so much, everyone. I wish you a wonderful night. And if you have ideas about the show or what you would like to hear or who you'd like to hear from, or if you want to hear about me, what that is, send me an email and I will always do my best to grant you your wish. Until next time. Good night.
Mm-hmm.